Let's get these links sent out and then we can get started, guys. Let me post this up real quick. All right, let me get this link out and then we can get started. Let's see. Hey, morning, Alkin. Morning, Peter. Morning, Uzman. Morning, Greg. Morning, Kushi. Morning, Velocity. Morning, Chelsea. Morning, Matt. Morning, Akeem. Hopefully you guys held on to that US 30 from yesterday, guys. Yeah, that was some great profit. I was kind of sweating last night. I woke up to my my MT4 account, and it was nice. Check that out. There's on my first 100K account. There's on my second one. You can see why the profits are different because I take them on separate accounts. So I have one there and then one there as well. And then also my personal account right here. I usually take like a 0.02, but due to like, the weird market conditions, I ended up taking, just like 0.01 just to be safe. But I'm glad we, we bounced back. As you guys know, we usually don't have more than, 2 back-to-back losses. So, it played out just like we thought, went to full TP and played out perfectly. So good thing that hit. Today, I'm personally not going to take the US 30 trade today, but I got online just because some of you guys wanted me to call it for you guys anyways. So, I'm going to do you guys a favor and do that anyways, just so I hang out with you guys and get close out this, this trading week pretty strong. So let me just send out the link real quick so we can get everyone else on here, and then we can get started, guys. Yeah, I haven't sent out the link yet, so I don't think anyone's here yet. It's just a lot of the people that really want to be here. So let me just send this link out. So everyone can hop in real quick. I'll just post this on the Facebook. Oops. Why did I just do that? All right. This one right here. And I keep forgetting where I have to post these links on. It's like such a, I wish there was an automated way to do this where the link just gets posted up. Let's see, I'm gonna post it on the email as well. Nice. Yeah, everyone locked in some pretty nice profits last night. Let me send this out to the members through email as well. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't think many people are in here just yet. I just started sending out the links. So it looks like people are still making their way in. So I'm gonna get some time, and then I'm gonna get this on the sorry, I lost my train. I'm gonna get this on the Instagram as well. So let me just get these links out. That's so tedious just sending out these links to everybody, but it's all good. It's all good. It's kind of hard for people to find this if they're not aware. Send that there. Two more places, and then we can check it out. I do have my alert set up, guys, so don't worry. If we get an alert, I'll be able to call it right away. Or I'll be calling it live anyways, because I'm not going to really be taking it. Or I might take it actually, guys. I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how good the trade looks, and if it looks really good, then obviously I'll take it. But if it looks kind of iffy, then I'll probably hold off because I already locked in some pretty nice profits this week. I don't want to, take unnecessary risks, especially with how the market was moving this week. Thankfully, it moved back to how it normally was. All right, I got this on there real quick, and then one last place, guys. I just need to post it on the Instagram real quick. We should be good. All right, last place, the Instagram. A lot of people ask me why I don't post profits on the Instagram anymore. It's because I just don't care about the profits, guys. It's like, as long as you guys see, like, I'd rather have people here on the live stream rather than just me showing off the profits, because it doesn't really matter if I make the profits. If you guys aren't making the same profits, then it just really doesn't make sense. I'd rather teach you guys how to do what I'm doing, and you guys actually learn from these live streams rather than me just showing off profits, because anyone can show profits, guys. And also anyone can show their own profits. Like for me, I'd rather show your guys' profits than show mine, because it just seems scammy, you know, if I'm just the only one showing profits. So that's why I almost never show my profits, only if it's like if everyone else is winning, but I never just send just mine. All right, so I got this on the Instagram real quick. I think we're pretty much good to go. See if there's anything else here. I gotta set up like a tripod here so you can go on the IG live. We'll work on that another time. But all right, guys. So let me pull up the chat real quick. Let's see who's here. Hey, David. Morning. Morning, Josh. Morning, Godfrey. Morning, Victor. Morning, Tony. Morning, John. Morning, City. Morning, Vincent. Morning, HL. Morning, Nicole. Morning, Andre. Morning, everybody. So like I was mentioning this morning, guys, hopefully you guys held that US 30 position because it went straight to full TP. You know, it goes back to what we always discuss. You know, we almost never have more than 2 back-to-back losses, guys. We had 2 back-to-back losses due to the COVID news. You know, it wasn't something we could really plan for because we weren't expecting those vaccine news to come out. But thankfully, we bounced right back, you know, to where we normally are. So if you guys, you know, woke up and saw your accounts, a lot of us hit some pretty nice profits. So I'll go to my save. These are like mine right here, guys. If you guys didn't see, I woke up to this great feeling this morning because I was really scared that it was going to hit stop loss. But, you know, I trusted, you know, our system, and it came straight down just like we anticipated. But yeah, looking here, I woke up to like this profit on my first FTMO account, my second one here. That's why the profits are different, guys. And I post 2 different ones because I have 2 separate FTMO accounts. So I'm trading them separately right now until I get my third one, so I can merge them into a 300K account. But you know, currently I'm doing fine just taking them on 2 separate accounts. That's why I don't merge them, because I don't want any downtime from trading. So those are my 2 FTMOs, and then my personal right here. I normally take a bigger lot size, but you know, with how the market was moving, I lowered it temporarily. So I'm gonna swing it back to a bigger lot size later. But I think we all did pretty good. I saved everyone else's profits for this yesterday too. So we had Alec over here. He killed it with UK 100. He made about $500. Yeah, Mark over here, he finished his verification, so he's going to be funded now, another 100K account. Here's another one right here, 2,300. See, everyone has about the same amount of profits if you follow it properly. Here's Cheryl over here again. She's always killing it. You know, 2,000 right there. Sisuk over here with his scalps. He did pretty good right there as well. On both of his accounts, or not both of his accounts, but you know, his full trades for this week. He did pretty well. Yeah, here's Mark right here. He passed his verification FTMO, you know, using the K² strategies within 5 days, guys. So it's that easy. You know, literally he took like X amount of trades, I think like 3 trades, and he passed verification. So it's totally possible. Yeah, here's Mark right here. He wrapped it up. He took the US 30, the call I made yesterday, plus the UK 100. Josh over here killed it as well. Very nice. And Benoit as well. Took the AJ. So, you know, I called that AJ. It's still active, I think. Let me check. I personally got out of that trade because, you know, how I mentioned, the market's just fucking all over the place, guys. So it did pull back a bit. Hopefully you guys got out at CP1. I got out at CP1. So did Benoit over here. He made some, you know, pretty decent profit. It adds up, guys. You know, even if you're taking TP1, it still adds up. You know, Mark as well again right here, and Jalicia, pretty much all the profits for this week. So if you guys want me to post up your profits in the group, just send your profits to me or send them in any of the groups, and then I'll put them together because I'm going to post the totals shortly for everyone. Here's the signal right here. We got about 10 minutes left on the candle, guys. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. But yeah, looking here, there's Paola. So he finally got his funded account. You know, he passed his FTMO. He just messaged me this morning. Yeah, he said tonight FTMO sent me already to log in for the 80K funded. So nice, Paola. So he took the 100K, but he's doing it in euros. That's why it's 80K euros. That's why it's a little less, but it's technically the same amount. So, you know, great work by the whole team, guys. So many FTMOs got funded this week. Even though it was a shitty week, people still got funded. And, you know, it's just about consistency and, you know, learning from someone that actually knows what they're doing, guys. You know, I've been taking FTMO since May. So if you guys are having issues with FTMO, you know, I have a simple fix. All you need to do is take this one trade every single day, and you'll pass it just like everyone else. It's not that difficult. It's really about consistency and following directions, because a lot of people, they want to go and do their own thing because they think they know how to trade really well, and then they end up blowing their FTMO. But if you just do what I'm doing, where I just take this one trade every day, you could do perfectly fine. You know, I'm on my way to my 3rd FTMO account. I'm just waiting for FTMO to send it over to me. They haven't sent it over yet, but soon enough, hopefully I'll have that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see, morning Usman. Morning Iriza. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Morning Hope. Morning Josh. Morning Gak. Good morning everybody. So let me go ahead and take a look at US 30 real quick. I'm just going to analyze it for, you know, I'm going to draw all the zones here just so that we can see where the rejection points are. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll take a look at the chat shortly, but let me just draw these zones in case we have an entry that appears shortly, because we do have a pending sell right there. So if that does close, then we'll have an entry to look at. I'm just going to draw these zones here. I normally don't draw the zones here, guys, but you know, just because of how the market has been moving lately, it's kind of it's a lot safer for us to. I mean, it would make more sense for us to draw these zones so that we could understand the rejection points. Because yeah, I mean, you guys have seen how the market moved this week. It's been all over the place. So, and it was like I mentioned yesterday, guys. So I'm drawing these to create a storyline, because for a lot of you guys, it's hard to really read candles because you guys aren't familiar or experienced with it just yet. So these zones are going to help you understand how to create a storyline for how prices moved in the past, not even that far in the past, you know, yesterday or today, and then how it's going to continue to move into today. So I think this is right here. All right, so I connected those. I think now we just need the lower zones. So we don't have anything below. Let's see. So that's the last one down there. So actually this sell might be good. I might actually take the sell with you guys because it does look like it could be a good sell. So let me zoom out from here. We got about 6 minutes left on the clock, guys. So, I mean, it's obviously in a downtrend right now. You guys can see that, you know, price kind of pushed up a bit. It broke below here, rejected off this zone, pushed up to here, rejected off this zone, came down here, rejected from here, pushed up, went sideways, pushed up, went sideways, pushed down right here, rejected off the zone, came up, went sideways a bit. You guys can see that there's market. It's like a market pattern, guys. It just keeps, you know, repeating itself. So literally went sideways, came down, went sideways, came up, went sideways, came down, went sideways. So like right here at this point, if I turn on the K2 I mean the K2 momentum, basically what happened here was price established, let's see. So it established the high like way up here. I can go ahead and just draw this right here. So it established the high up here. It came from up here to down here. It's kind of doing like some sort of staircase, you know, so it's went from here, rejected from this point, came down, consolidated, came down, consolidated, came down, consolidated. What's going to happen from here? If we get a sell signal, it's rejected off this point right here. Once we get that sell signal, it'll probably drop, right? So if we get that sell signal, it'll be pretty nice. And what could happen here as well is it can, if we get a sell, I'll probably take it. If we get a buy, I might not take it. Because we'll have to wait and see how this plays out, unless it's like an invalid sell. Because the thing is, if it crosses above here, then it'll probably establish a low right here, and then it might come down from here and then shoot on back up, right? So that's why it becomes a little risky. Today's also Friday, guys. Keep in mind it's Friday. Market moves weird on Friday. So even if we were to analyze it from here, it pretty much, you know, this was the high, this was the low, and then it might be rejecting back up. However, if it doesn't break the structure right here, it's probably going to just continue back down from this point. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. We're just going to wait for the signal. And let's see. Nice. Some more people passing their FTMOs, guys. I'm glad to see that. You know, a lot of people have trouble passing FTMO, but the people here that actually follow the directions are passing, and it's a good feeling, because I know a lot of people have issues with it. But all right, I'm gonna put my seat down. I'm kind of lazy today. It's a Friday. just relax today. Having to stress out about these trades. All right, so let me take a seat real quick, guys, and then let me see if there's any questions in the chat. So let's see. Check this out over here. Morning, let me see. Morning, guys. Well, let me see what the questions are here. So let me see if there's anything that anyone's asking. So if you guys want me to analyze anything for you guys, feel free to put it in the chat, and I can analyze, pretty much any pair you guys want me to. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty light day. I think the only thing we're really looking at is going to be US 30. Probably once this has been called, I'll probably get offline so I can finish up the weekly wrap up with all of our results for the week. I know it wasn't like, the best week, how it was like the past 4 weeks where we had like nonstop wins and a ton of pips, but I think we are still net positive overall for all of our trades, as long as you guys use the exit strategy for pretty much majority of them. So let me just check over here and see if there's anything else. Velocity said, we better not be taking US 30 today. That's funny. Let's see what else we got here. Vincent said, AJ is falling instead of rising. Vincent, that normally happens. The market goes up and down. It's not always supposed to go up forever. It's if you understand how the Forex market works, it's a ranging market. So even though it was going up here, and then even though it came down here, it came right back up, right? So you guys have to understand that the market doesn't always go in one direction. And you guys can get faked out. If you're in a position and price starts to pull back, you're not supposed to close out your position. You're supposed to hang on to it as long as it fits, your trading plan, because price retraces. So price started from here, it came up, retraced down, and then it went straight back up. So yeah, of course, AJ would be dropping, it's not going to forever go up, but it's still up. So obviously it came up, it dropped, it can reject right off the structure and shoot right back up. So AJ looks fine. There's nothing to worry about on AJ, but most of us got out already because it is the weekend. So most of us don't hold trades into the weekend. Let's see what else is here. Usman said, I just need one US 31 to break even for this whole week. Yeah, maybe today will be your trade, Usman. And we'll see. Because like I mentioned, once it breaks the structure right here, it's going to be a bit of an iffy trade, because I wouldn't take a sell if it breaks too high, because it already established a high, low, and then it's breaking the high low right here. So it's going to start creating higher highs and higher lows. So that's why I'd probably be careful with US 30 for today, if that's the case. Let's see. Velocity said he had 7 wins and 2 losses for December. Not bad, bro. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Velocity said, Usman, my suggestion from blowing FTMO accounts, learn to actually trade, not simply rely on one thing, for this exact reason, so you're able to build your account back up. Yeah, of course, as long as you do things properly. Well, I mean, all I do is take one trade at Velocity, so I don't think it's been an issue for me so far. But I'm joking with you. I know you mean to actually know what you're doing rather than just copying signals and stuff. Yeah, Deswell said, even with the Forex signals, you can pass FTMO, because yeah, our results from the Forex weren't that bad this week. They were okay. It was just US 30. We had 2 losses and 1 win, but overall it's been good so far. Usman said, I've been learning a lot. I made my losses back from US 30 from doing his own trades. Nice. Usman said, I watched the whole Trading Psychology by Mark Douglas when you recommended it back then. Helped me a lot. Thanks. Awesome. Velocity said, the issue with Forex trades is that you can't hold over the weekend when you're funded, so you can pass with it, but unless you take it to TP1 and get out. Velocity said, pretty sure that's why Shawn doesn't take FX trades on FTM. That's exactly why, guys. Not just because you can't hold them over the weekend, but I also don't take FX trades because if you hold your losses into the next day, those losses stack. So every time I see someone fail their FTMO and they don't understand that the drawdown counts, it's because the losses stack. You guys have to use logic. Obviously, someone's not going to give you a 100K account and let you run that to $0. They have limits in place because you're trading money that's actually real. it's not a real account, obviously, but their accounts are copying your account. So they're not going to let you go into like crazy drawdown in order to like, pray that the trade will come back, because there's no guarantee the trade will come back. So if you were taking, if someone tried to take a buy here, and they took a buy here and it came right back up, and then it ends up coming down right here. Once you go into like such far drawdown, your account could literally go to zero if it keeps going down further. So that's why FTMO is strict with their daily loss. FTMO trains you to be a responsible trader, not to be a gambler, where you take, a buy position and you literally hold it for like a whole week, hoping that it'll come right back up, because it just doesn't work like that. So that's why I don't trade Forex on my FTMO account, because there's just a lot more risk that's involved when you're holding something into the next day. So that's why I only trade US 30, and I trade it during the New York session. Even if I'm in profit, sometimes I'll probably exit it before the session ends if possible, if I'm already in profit. Let's see. Yeah, Usman said, also, I'm not using FTMO. I funded with my own money, but I'm thinking once I get better grasp of all this, I'll join FTMO. Yeah, Usman, don't do it right away. If you want to do it, probably do the trial first, because FTMO is really strict. Like it forces you to be a responsible trader and to use proper risk. You can't go like heavy lots and then just be like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna make a quick win, because as soon as that goes into drawdown, you could easily lose your account. Velocity said, yeah, because you can always scalp and make your money back. Yeah, of course. No, definitely. I only scalp when I really need to, but it does definitely work. Deswell said, just remember risk management, 100%. And Velocity said, yeah, screw that drawdown, left myself, got me good. So Abdi Nasir is asking for a Euro USD. He's in a buy position. So let me pull up Euro NZD, actually, sorry. Euro NZD right here. So Euro NZD looks like it's in a strong sell. I personally wouldn't be in a buy, because we have a bearish bias right here. The most recent signal was a sell momentum signal. So if this breaks this structure right here, then if it breaks and closes below, it'll probably come and test the next one. And then after that, if it breaks and closes below that one, it'll come dropping even further, right? So that's why I wouldn't be in a buy unless our previous signal was a bullish momentum signal. Then I would take a buy. So if this happens, well, this is one scenario that can happen. One scenario is it can come down and break below this structure and continue dropping way down here, continue super far down. However, this can happen as well. Price can come down, test the structure, and then reject off it. Then if we get a buy signal, it'll likely continue on upwards to here. So that's scenario number two. There's two scenarios there. Another scenario is price can come down, test this structure right here, reject off that point. And if we get a buy signal, it'll probably come up and test here. You know how I know this? I know this because it's already happened right here. Price broke the structure. So price came down. Here's scenario number two. Price came down, rejected off the structure, got a buy signal. Then it tested this structure right here. See, that's scenario number one. It could replay right here, because history usually repeats itself for Forex. The third scenario is price breaks the structure. So price tests the structure, breaks the structure, just like I drew right here. Then we get a buy signal right here. It closes above the structure, and what does it do? It comes and tests this structure, just like I just drawn right here. So as you can see, there's three different scenarios that can play out. Price can either break below here, and continue down further, or price can reject off this point and come up like it did right here, or price can break below this structure, test this structure, break back above with a buy signal because momentum swinging up, and then test this one up here. So it really depends on where you have it. Abnazir, I'm not sure where your stop loss is or your TP is. I think the farthest you should aim for is down here. So maybe your stop loss should be somewhere down here if possible, but I think it's pretty far down. Let's see. Yeah, it's nearly like 200 pips down here. So that's a big loss and a big risk for you depending on your lot size. But this is going to be the better area. So it just depends on where you're going to to have it, because like I mentioned, there's 3 different scenarios here. Price can either break the structure, continue below, it can reject off here and come back up, or it can reject right here and come back up. So you have 3 different scenarios that can play out. You probably have like a 30% chance of your trade playing out if you took a buy right here without fully analyzing it this way, because, or maybe like a 33%, because there's 3 different scenarios, right? So you split up you split up 100% by 3. So until there's like 2 scenarios, you don't have a 50% chance of it playing out, because everything's pointing south right now, right? So if your stop loss is right here, you're probably going to get stopped out. If your stop loss is down here, you're probably going to get stopped out. Your stop loss would have to be way down here. It's pretty far out. So you have like a 33.3% chance of winning. You know, trading is a game of probabilities, guys. So if you guys don't analyze it from different, scenarios, then you're going to have an issue. If there's only 2 scenarios, then yeah, you'll have a 50-50 chance that'll hit, your desired area. But right now, bias is against you, because the most recent signal was a sell signal, and it's also in a strong downtrend. So this is why I wouldn't take a buy here, because, there's so many factors indicating that it's going to go down. So like right here, sorry, wrong tool. So like right here, one confirmation is that it's trending down. So that's like one reason I wouldn't take a buy. Second reason is the momentum is already coming down. It has momentum, a bearish momentum bias. On top of that, if you turn on the pivots, see prices below the pivots are angling down and they're spreading out. So it's indicating a strong momentum swing downwards, right? So there's a lot of hints, showing us that it's not going to go up. But if it does, there's no guarantee that it's not going to go up, right? It's just, I'm weighing the different pros and cons as to, whether I would take a buy or whether I take a sell. And you guys have to make sure that you analyze your trades from all perspectives, whether it's in your favor or not. It's always good to analyze it differently to confirm whether, you're in a good position or not. But, it might bounce up, I don't want to be all negative here, but everything just points to me that it's going to, continue down. On top of that, you can look at the correlation from the other euro pairs. So if you look at Euro USD, looks like the euro is strong here for Euro USD. It looks like it's coming down for EJ. EG, it's bullish. EC, it's bearish, but it's retraced up just like it did for EN right there. Euro CAD, it's bearish as well. So you can see the correlation is not very strong. Oh, but if you look here at Euro odd, this is probably the closest correlating pair to Euro NZD with regard to euro pairs. So if you look here, Euro odd is in a strong downtrend as well, just like Euro NZD, which is why it would indicate that it's probably going to continue down. And one other way to confirm this is you're going to look at the NZD here, see if the NZD is strong. So if the NZD is strong, then odds are it's probably going to continue down. One way to do that is to pull up the NZD pair. So right here, I have them all lined up. NZD CAD is bullish, right? That means the NZD is strong right now in comparison to the Canadian dollar. NZD versus the CHF, it's bullish as well. So the NZD is somewhat strong here against these euro pairs. So if it's strong against those pairs, it's probably going to be strong against the euro NZD as well, and it's probably going to continue down because it's all moving in the same direction. NJ, it's pulling back a bit, but it's strong as well. NZD USD is strong as well, and yeah, pretty much all of the NZD pairs are bullish. So I do anticipate euro NZD to continue down further. So you guys have to just remember to take a lot of different approaches. If you apply just one type of strategy, apply different ones just to see how they correlate with your analysis. But hopefully your trade plays out okay. Adam Nazir. So good luck with that one, especially and it's Friday too, so be careful. You don't know what could happen today. Okay, so US 30 spiked up, guys. It looks like it's now going to establish higher highs. So I don't think I would take a sell if I was to get one, because it looks like it'll just continue to push up further. One way as well is if it breaks this structure over here, it'll for sure continue up, I believe. So if it goes this high, breaks this structure, then I could already anticipate it to carry on even further. right? Like that, because people are buying the dip, guys. So this is probably the low, the rejection off this point, buy signal. I wish I would have taken that because it looks like it would have been a great trade if we caught that. I was asleep though, so I was like 3 something. All right, so let me see what else we got over here. All right, let me see if there's anything else that we are looking for over here. Velocity said that vaccine better be distributed next year and make the markets get to normal. Yeah, you know, that vaccine, it's I mean, even if it's distributed next year, I don't think people are really going to take it until probably the end of the year or maybe even the year after that, because they still have a ton of testing to do for that you know, that vaccine. George said US 30 just shot up. What the Yeah, I mean, this is why I don't trade on Fridays, guys, because the market is just it's just crazy. But yeah, basically right here, it looks like it established a low. And then from this point, it, you know, the momentum just pushed up. So people are buying the dip right here, but that doesn't, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to continue up. The area you want to look out for is this structure right here, because what could happen here is price can still shoot down from this point. Same from right here, price can shoot down from this point, price can shoot down from this point and from this point. But if price breaks this structure right here, or even this structure, it'll probably continue up because it's going to start establishing higher highs. You know, even if you go on the higher time frames here, it's still got a long way to go. So a lot of you guys liked what I did yesterday when we were you know, identifying momentum using the K2 pivots. So we can also take a look at that again. I forgot which one did I use. I should have a separate one just for there we go. You know, for this, I'm probably going to just do that on this chart because actually no, it's kind of messy if I do it on there. So I'll just show you it on the other chart. A lot of you guys like that I did this right here, where we identify the momentum on 4 different time frames to identify, you know, the direction of price. Because like right here, it looks like price is attempting to break above, right? This is why we weren't worried about that sell yesterday, because we took the sell here and then we saw that price was heading down on all 4 time frames, right? So right here, you can see price is breaking. So it's actually getting a little risky because generally if price starts on the 10-minute, it could possibly follow through on the 30-minute. So if it breaks structure here and it breaks structure here, odds are it's going to follow through on the 1 hour and the 2 hour here as well, because we're only trying to catch this trade for, you know, a certain time period. So this is one way to look at US 30 as well, just to have a better picture, you know, like a full picture of how it's probably moving with regard to momentum. So it looks like it's breaking the structure here on the 30. If it breaks the structure on the 30, then it might continue up even further. So something to keep in mind, guys. But yeah, US 30 does look a bit risky. So let's see what else we got here. Morning, Yadin. How's it going, bro? Yadin's asking, what do we think about AN? So let me pull up AN real quick. I think it'll reject off this point. Yeah, and continue up. I'm not sure if you're still in the trade. I know I did tell people to cancel it, but it did hit TP1 if you guys held on to it. I know some people just decided to hold on to it, but it looks like it's rejecting off this structure right here. You can see price broke, retested, rejection wick right here, and then now it's pushing right back up. So if it closes above the structure, odds are it's probably going to keep pushing up. However, it is Friday, so I'd be careful with your trades today, because a lot of things can happen with people exiting the market and volatility just, you know, going crazy right before market close. So I think it'll continue up. If you still have this position, it looks fine. We have, you know, the previous signal was a bullish buy. So we have a bullish bias, and I think it's going to continue up and test this next structure up here, hitting the full TP if people still have this, you know, trade active. So let me see what else we've got over here. So let me go down the chat real quick. So that's it for AN. Yeah, and I think it's still bullish. So if you're still in that buy, you should be perfectly, you know, perfectly fine. Usman said, look at the wick on US 30, LOL. Look out for that sell signal. Yeah, so we had this nice rejection off this point. It was like I mentioned, guys, if we have this rejection off this point, followed by a sell signal, it'll probably continue dropping back down. However, if it crosses way up here, then that's where it starts to get a little fuzzy. So the thing with the 10-minute is, I guess the momentum doesn't really matter all that much right here, how it's moving, because it can swing up and then swing back down. The bigger thing is if it crosses on the higher time frames, because generally if the higher time frames follow the lower time frames if the momentum is strong. So right here for the 30-minute, it still has about 13 minutes left on it. If this closes above it, then it's probably going to continue up further. See how far, maybe not that much further, but decently far, maybe about 400 or 500 pips. And then once it starts to cross on the 1 hour above the pivots, then that's when I would start to get a little worried, because that could, indicate that people are really pushing and buying these stocks, pushing it to swing back up. But at that point, it's going to have to cross this structure up here, which is, let's see how many pips. It's about 1,000 pips. It's got a long way to go, guys. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. If we do get a sell, I'm not sure if I would take that, but it does look like a nice sell if we do get it, because you can see here, generally, when we have a nice rejection and it's followed with a signal, it usually plays out pretty nicely. Like down here, we had a rejection off this structure, buy signal, and then it pushed up how many pips? It pushed up about, wow, pushed up like 2,000 pips. So it's a good indication of, where price is going to, be going. If this closes as a red bearish candle, then it'll probably come down. But we'll have to wait and see how that, how that plays out. Same situation right here. We had price test this structure right here, like 1, 2, 3 times with the sell signal, retest right there, sell signal, and then it ends up dropping super heavily right here, right? So those rejections are really good key identifiers when identifying, where price is going to go following that, especially if it's during, the New York session where volatility is actually pretty high. So we got about a minute left on this candle. We'll see how it closes. If it closes, and we'll see. We'll just see, because it's like I mentioned before, guys. We're pretty much identifying this storyline, right? So right here, we had this nice push down right here. Price rejected off this structure, and then it pretty much just bounced from structure to structure, right? Until it got down to here. Once it got down to this point, it pushed up, retraced, pushed up, retraced, and it's probably going to keep pushing up even further. So we'll see how that goes. However, if it has a sell here, sorry guys, man, sleeping's been off today. That's funny. It's I just saw the message from Velocity where Velocity said, "This group has messed up my sleeping habits. I keep waking up at 2 a.m. looking for trades." Yeah, I did the same thing, guys. Today I didn't even set an alarm. I just I was ready to take the US 30 this morning because I didn't realize it was Friday. And I woke up at 5:30, with no alarm, and I was like surprised because I was just so excited to take a trade today. But I just realized it's Friday, so I'm probably not going to. But if I do, it could very well play out fine. But like I was mentioning right here, if we follow the storyline, it's technically still dropping down. So we had a high here. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but I can just see it just by looking at it. So we have a high here, a low right here, a lower high right there, a lower low right there, a lower high right there, lower low right there, or no, lower low right there, and then a lower high right here. So you guys can see it keeps establishing, it's like a staircase, right? It's going lower and lower. So if we get a sell signal right here, then I would anticipate this to, drop down even further. Or not even there, even farther than that, down to there. Because it's just going to keep establishing lower lows and lower highs. But yeah, we'll see how that plays out. I don't like taking trades on Friday because my FTMO can't hold trades over the weekend. So if I'm like in heavy drawdown, I'm gonna get screwed because I can't close it. I mean, I'm gonna have to close a trade for a loss. But let's see what else we got over here. So we have Abdi Nazir is asking about Euro CHF. So let me pull up Euro CHF real quick for our friend here. Let's see, Euro CHF. So looking at Euro CHF right here, we have it looks like it's bearish right now, but we did have this buy signal. So like, check this out. We have this buy signal right here. And from that buy signal, it did like what I always mention, right? Once you get that signal, it usually tests the structure right here. But you can see that this is a strong structure. You can see how many times it's tested it here. And then it finally broke right here, right? So it broke the structure. What I see happening here is if we have a sell signal up here, then I would anticipate this to continue down further to this structure where it can either break below there or it can reject off and correct back up this way. So it just depends on how this candle plays out, because there's a couple scenarios here. So, you know, scenario number one, since we have a bullish bias, this can easily push up to here. And then if it pushes to this point, we can anticipate it to continue up further, right? To test this structure before breaking above here. So that's scenario number one, right? Number one is a bullish bias because the most recent signal is a bullish signal. So until we get a sell signal, we'll most likely be looking for buys for this specific pair. However, if price rejects off this point, we get a sell signal like we've had over here, then we can anticipate that to shoot down further over here, right? So that's scenario number two. Scenario number three is price can come down a bit and then shoot back up if we don't get that sell signal. So it can retrace off this point and then it can shoot right back up. So majority of bias is for a bullish move. However, if we get a sell signal, then obviously our analysis changes, because then we could rule out the other scenarios and we won't be looking for a buy anymore. We'll be looking for a sell. So then that'll be a 50% probability that'll continue in that direction. So like I mentioned before, it's a little iffy right now. Also, it's Friday, so the volatility is low. So you probably have like maybe a 33% to 50% chance of probability of your trade playing out. So let me see Abner. So he's in a buy. So that's good that you're in a buy. Abdi Nazir, sorry, your name is like interesting. I can't really pronounce it properly, but you're in a buy. So if you're in a buy, you're in a good position because bias is still bullish right here. So if this crosses above here, which you'd make a ton of profit at that point, right? You'd make about like 50 pips profit. If it closes above there, then it'll probably continue up. But one thing to keep in mind, I'm not sure if you have a K2 indicators, bro, but if you do, keep in mind and watch out for that sell signal, because if that sell signal appears, then odds are it's probably going to continue down, because overall it's still in the downtrend, because we established a high here, established a high, low, and then if it rejects off this point, this is going to be a lower high, and then it'll continue down further to test this structure and push down even farther. So there's a lot of scenarios that can play out here until we have some sort of confirmation. Thanks, David. So David said, everyone here, please like the stream. So yeah, guys, so I keep forgetting to remind you guys, but if you guys haven't already, if you guys can do us a favor and just like the stream and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, that'll help out with the YouTube algorithm, because like I mentioned, there's a lot of people that are in the trading space or that are new to the trading space and are looking for help with trading. And a lot of you guys have gained a lot of value from just sitting in on my live trading sessions where I answer your questions. That of course I want to help other people that want to learn as well. So if you guys like the stream and you guys subscribe, that'll help the algorithm target more other people that have similar interests to you guys. And also, like I mentioned before, I have mentoring sessions that I go on with randomly. Like today, I have 2 mentoring sessions. I have a mentoring session at 12 p.m. and then I have another mentoring session at 5 p.m., which is a one-on-one with another K2 member. And if you guys want to sit in on that, that's completely free. If you guys like the stream and subscribe, YouTube will send you an email notifying you that I'm online for a live one-on-one mentoring session. So if you guys want to sit in on that, it's completely free. You guys just need to subscribe and like this video, and then YouTube will send you an email whenever I go live. So I go live maybe about 1 to 3 to 5 times a day, depending on how many mentoring sessions I have. And you guys are more than welcome to sit in and see how I teach people one-on-one to learn, these same exact strategies that I apply. And if you guys aren't familiar, I only apply 2 strategies, guys. So this whole year, all of the results that I've produced are from applying only 2 strategies. So if you guys want to learn those strategies, it's available to you guys. You just need to go on the K2 website and sign up. But I'll show you the curriculum over here of the K2 course. Basically, the only 2 strategies I apply, guys, are the K2SR zone trading strategy on the 4-hour. This is what all of the Forex signals are called on, and the US 30 strategy right here that I call every morning with you guys as well. So I only apply these 2 strategies, and that's how all of the profits are produced for not just me, but the rest of the K2 members. So if you look at, all the profits here from all of the K2 members, this is literally all from just using 2 strategies, guys. And for the UK 100, a lot of the London members, they use the daily US 30 strategy for the London session. So it's literally 2 strategies if you guys want to learn it and be profitable like everyone else, because these trades are not taken by my signals. Like these UK 100 trades, those are taken by, just members in the London room. And, this AJ trade from Benoit, that's just, trades that I call using, 1 strategy. So if you guys want to have access to that, it's available to you guys. If you guys go on the website, k2trades.com, if you sign up to the K2 strategies course, you'll have one-on-one mentorships with me. And just a reminder, if you guys sign up this year, you guys will have unlimited sessions with me. If you guys sign up next year, as you guys can see, we're getting way too busy. So, with the sessions filling up, I'm not going to be able to help everyone as much as I want to, because there's only one of me and there's hundreds of you guys. So, I'm here to help you guys, but definitely, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and like the stream so that we can help the YouTube algorithm find more people that want to learn more about this. But okay, so let me keep going down the list over here and see if there's anything else that we have here. Nice. So Yadin said he entered AM yesterday, so he should be fine. Yeah, Yadin. So you see this nice push from this rejection. I think it's going to continue up, and it should probably push it even further. But check this out on US 30, guys. The rejection I just mentioned. So we had that test on this structure right here. It failed to break. Now we have this nice bearish candle following it. So if we get a sell signal, it'll probably drop down pretty heavy. So let's see how many pips this could be if we do end up taking a sell here. It's actually pretty solid. It's not too far. It's enough to just come right back down. Wow, look at that. Huge bullish candle. So we might actually get a signal here, guys. So let me let's see. Here, I'm just gonna put a message in the group, because I'm not gonna call this in the as an official signal, because I'm probably not gonna call it. So I'm just gonna remind everyone, hey team, if I call, I may call the K2 daily US 30 entry on the live stream today if it looks good. If it looks good, official signal since it's Friday and the market has been iffy. Oh, I won't say it won't, but I likely won't, because I said that last week and I still took it anyways, right? So I might take the trade with you guys, but we'll see. And we'll see how that goes. I'm just gonna pin this right here just so people can catch it. I don't think a lot of people realize that we're on live right now. So I'll just go ahead and pin that just there real quick so that people can hop in on this live stream here. All right, so I think everything's good there. So let me go ahead and just move this over right here. And yeah, we're just looking at US 30 right here. It looks like it could be a nice sell. That sell signal might be be appearing sometime soon. Let me check out the questions over here real quick. Let's see. Victor said, is it not the banks pushing it due to the high short sentiment? Not necessarily, not the banks. It can be a lot of other traders as well. See, IG sentiment, US 30. There's a lot of factors, Victor, because the thing is, a lot of people buy the dip. It's not just the banks that buy the dip. And the thing with US 30 is that it has certain market cap. It can be pushed up and down if there's enough buyers and sellers. It's not like Forex where it's like, billions of dollars that need to be, invested to push the market. With US 30, if the stocks go up pretty heavily, as a whole, because there's 30 different stocks there, then it can easily push it up. But yeah, this could be a factor as well, because the thing is, a lot of people probably didn't identify the structure, because this structure was identified using the K2SR, right? So we found that down there using the K2SR. And that's the only reason why we identify that low there. But if someone isn't using the K2SR, it'd be difficult for them to identify that the structure down here, establishing the low. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let's see. It's actually pretty nice because we had a rejection here. So price came up, broke structure, retested, came back up, and then now it could be coming back down right here. So we have the rejection off this structure right here. If we have a sell signal, then it'll probably continue down further. So let me see if there's anything else here that we're probably looking for before we possibly finalize our bias for this trade. But we basically are just looking for that sell. Once we get that sell, then it could likely play out really nice. Let's see, Forex Trader said velocity true story. Yesterday I slept like 4 hours. Forex Trader said held my UJ sell and it's now in some nice profit. Yeah, it looks like the JPY pairs all kind of fell a bit, especially because the US dollar is weak after all that COVID news. Yeah, check that out. So whoever took the sell there for UJ, it's sitting pretty nice. Let me go to UJ real quick. Yeah, so right here for UJ, it looks like it, obviously it's still in a downtrend, clearly. If you pull back to here, it's still in a downtrend. So if you establish this right here, it's like a high, low, high, low, high, low, and then it started back over right here. So this is probably where the storyline started off. So we had a high here and established a high, low. Probably was consider this a full high, or actually it looks like it's in consolidation now. So it shot up, rejected off this structure, came down here, rejected off this structure, came up, and then now it's just consolidating sideways. So overall, it looks like it's in a downtrend because obviously it's trending down. But after this consolidation phase, if it closes below here, which it likely will, it'll probably continue down even further because the US dollar is weak overall. So obviously the JPY as a safe haven currency will continue to strengthen as long as the coronavirus is still, alive and kicking for the most part, which will probably be alive and kicking for the next one or 2 years. So this is probably a nice, a nice setup right here for this, for UJ. And obviously, if you scroll back, you can see that the drop has been happening since March, guys. So it hasn't gotten better since COVID started. COVID started in March. It's still dropping till today. So it's probably going to keep dropping further and further until, there's some sort of indication that, COVID is getting resolved. The vaccine's been sent out, businesses are reopened, US economy goes back to normal, but we definitely don't see that coming, anytime soon. So looks like it can continue to fall from here. Let's see what else we got over here. Yeah, City said at least 50% engagement. Y'all, we need 33 likes. Yeah, definitely. So if you guys haven't liked the video yet, please like it. Just to help out the the YouTube algorithm, because if you guys are pulling value from these live streams, especially from my knowledge and from the trades I give you guys, completely free here, if you guys like it, then obviously there's other people here that would like to get value out of this as well. So just a reminder, if you guys do get value out of this, just like the stream to help other people find us as well. So let's see. Nice. Yeah, Forex Trader said definitely learning here. It's turning into a habit, a good habit. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, since we have these live trading sessions, guys, it's made trading not better just for you guys, but it's made trading better for me, because normally in the morning I'm like messing around, not really focused on the charts. But since I'm on the charts with you guys and you guys are asking me questions, it kind of forces me to focus on the charts and pay attention to what's going on in the market. So thanks for that, guys. I do appreciate that you guys show up here with me every day. And I'm sure the profits that you guys have made, have definitely paid off with these live sessions. Like if you guys sat in all last week, we had like literally a nonstop win week. We had like 11 wins for Forex. We had 5 wins for US 30 for like a huge, huge, huge profit. And just looking at the results from last week, it's been insane, guys. It's been a blessing, not just for me, it's been a blessing for everyone else, because we've all killed it like this entire year. Like the total profits for this year are insane, guys. Net profit for Forex, net profit for US 30. If those were the profits early in the year and we didn't do these live streams, imagine what the profits are going to look like next year when I continue to do these every single day. But yeah, last week was insane, guys. We had 11 Forex wins last week for like a straight profit of like a net 495 pips. If you're taking a standard lot, that's like 5,000 nearly. And then our back-to-back US 30 wins for like 7,500 pips. This doesn't count that Friday win, but if you include that, it was definitely a good week last week. So this week was rocky, but thankfully we've done pretty well overall here. Let me see what is in the messages. So Akeem wants us to check NZD CAD. Bobby wants us to check out USD. So you're trading some exotics. So I'll take a look at that as well. HL said, hey, Shawn, obviously you know how to trade. If you want to get on a much higher level, accept my invitation on LinkedIn. We can discuss further. So HL, I'll take a look at that in a little bit. For right now, I'll take a look at these pairs here. With Akeem. So Akeem wants to take a look at NZD CAD. Let me take a look at that real quick. So NZD CAD over here. Sorry, let me check this real quick. NZD CAD. Oh, nice. Let's see. Okay, cool. So yeah, let me pull up NZD CAD real quick. And then I'll analyze this let's see who asked about this real quick. Akeem. Yeah, Akeem. So I'll check out NZD CAD for you. Wait, oh, sorry. This is the 10-minute. I was like, why aren't my zones on there? I didn't have the zones there. Sorry. So here we go. With NZD CAD on the 4-hour. So we have a bullish bias right here, but it's rejecting off this structure, right? So it looks like it's just in consolidation right now, going sideways right here. So I personally wouldn't take the buy yet. Yeah, if it breaks the structure right here, which it might, then there's a couple scenarios it can play out. So I'll go over scenarios. That'll probably help you out the most, Akeem, with this specific position, because it's going sideways right now. So it's kind of hard for us to really determine, which direction it'll continue. Because right here, it's consolidated. It broke structure here, came back down, then it just went back into consolidation. This is NZD CAD consolidates a lot of the time. Like you can see here, it consolidated for how long? Consolidated for about 14 days before it broke above and made a bullish move. And then it came back down, and then now it's stuck into consolidation again. So NZD CAD has been consolidating for about eight days now, 7 or 8 days. So once it breaks out of the structure, we do have a bullish bias here, but as you can see, we had a bullish bias here, came up, rejected off this structure, came down, rejected off this structure, and then it came back up, right? So it's just been bouncing up and down. So from there, we would want to wait for it to break above or break below. So we have a bullish, even though we have a bullish bias here, we don't know if it's going to come back down like it just did over here. But if it does break above it, up to here, then it'll probably continue that bullish move, because you can see we have this bullish move right here, retracement, consolidation. If it breaks above here, then it'll probably continue up further, right? And looking at the correlations with the other NZD pairs, the NZD is pretty bullish overall, right? So if you look at all of the NZD pairs, they're pretty bullish. Same with EN over here that we discussed earlier. It's strong against the euro as well. And same with GN over here as well. So NZD is pretty strong across the board. Looking at NZD CAD over here, this is why I would anticipate this to be a bullish move if it breaks above here, where it will continue up. Because just looking at this asset from a storyline perspective, you can see here it's been bullish for a while. So it was bullish here, so it's bullish, retracement, bullish, retracement, consolidation, and then if it breaks above it from here, what do you think is going to happen? It's probably going to continue up for another bullish move, right? So I have a bullish bias for NZD CAD because all of the NZD pairs are bullish. So it gives that correlating confirmation, or among all of the NZD pairs. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's guaranteed. This could have been established as the high right here. Who knows? This could have been the high up here. We just don't have a zone up there just yet. But if this established, the high right here, I'm going to delete that because I don't want to look at this like that. Then it could come down further. So one scenario is it breaks above from here and then continues up further. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is it rejects from this point and then breaks the structure. If it breaks the structure right here, then we can anticipate that to drop even further from this point down to here. And then once it reaches this point, it can either reject off here and correct back up, because it does have a bullish bias overall, or it can drop down even further. So depending on what happens next week, I don't know if there's any news set up for NZD or for the Canadian dollar. Let's check. Next week we have, wow, it's almost Christmas, guys. It's December 19 next week. So we have Christmas the following week. But there's a ton of news. So check this out. It's literally like, I forgot who mentioned the news yesterday, but I underestimated the news. There's a lot of news literally all day. So we're like pretty much jam-packed with news for the whole week, which will highly affect that pair, because we have NZD news. We also have USD news, which obviously will affect the entire market, and Canadian news as well. So Akeem, I think you're good with your position right now, but the only problem is it's rejecting off the structure. So it might consolidate a bit, and then I think next week for sure it'll break out of this range. So it'll consolidate a bit, and then with all of that news, it's either going to spike price up or it's going to spike price down. So be careful. Oh yeah, it was Usman. So Usman said, yeah, that was me. But yeah, Dan, that's a lot of. Hopefully it plays out for you, Akeem, because I think it's going to be bullish. Me personally, I think it's going to be bullish if it just continues how it's currently moving. But like I mentioned, there's a ton of news next week, so it's definitely gonna break out of this range at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much it for NZD CAD right there. Let me go on to the next one. The next asset that wants to be analyzed is Bobby right here with USD Tri. So let's look at USD Tri real quick. And I'm gonna keep bouncing back between US 30, guys, because I'm waiting for that sell signal so that we can take this over here. But yeah, looking at just over here, USD Tri, the Turkish lira. Dang, I haven't looked at this in a long time, guys. I stopped trading exotics a long time ago because a lot of people didn't have these assets with their broker, so it was kind of pointless for me to call signals for these specific pairs, because if I was the only one trading them, it was like nobody else could trade them as well. But I know, like on my beginning days, I used to trade these a lot, because the cool thing about these exotics is that they're not as manipulated as the major pairs, because not as many people trade them. But I mean, it goes both ways. It could be easily manipulated, but most of the time it's not manipulated because there's not that many people trading them. But if the government wants to, or the banks or institutions want to manipulate them, they can easily do it because there's not so many traders and the volatility is low. Depending on the specific asset. Like for this, the spread's super wide. The spread's like 122.5. That's why a lot of people don't like to trade them, because the spread is so wide. It usually eats up at their profits. And you can see here, there's like no volatility, right? So sometimes you'll enter a trade and it'll be like impossible for you to get out without paying like a huge spread. So that's why exotics are a double-edged sword. I mean, they're good to trade, but I definitely do consider them, some sort of a double-edged sword, because you can get burned if you end up getting stuck in these trades. So looking at that, I drew my zones there. Let me turn off the momentum indicator. It looks pretty good. So, like I mentioned, you should always create some sort of storyline with your analysis. So basically right here, price has been bullish, established a high up here, fell from there, retraced up, broke below this zone, and then it recovered back. So it swung back up, and then now it's just consolidating. It looks like it is overall bearish. It's a little tricky because you can see it doesn't move as smooth as other pairs. However, it looks like if we were to analyze it from this perspective, like a wider perspective on a long-term hold, it looks like a high was established, then a low, then another high, then it looks like it's going to continue down further to break this structure, right? So I would have a bearish bias, but let me turn on the momentum indicator to see how else this works here. And let's see how this goes. All right, we got a US 30 entry right there. All right, we got 2 minutes left on this candle, so I'm just gonna bounce between the USD try and US 30. This looks like a juicy trade there. I might take it myself. I might take it with a lower lot size because it does look like a really good trade. So let me have this already set up right here like that. And then we will we'll see how this plays out. So I'm holding off on this currently, but I'm going to wait and see. So I'll go back to USD try shortly. I'm just gonna focus on this just for now because we have a few minutes. It's less than 2 minutes. I don't want to miss this trade because I keep going back and forth. So we do have some time here, and then we will let's see how that goes. We got about a minute. Let's give it some time real quick. All right, we got a minute left, guys. Just patiently waiting for this to take. City said, would it be smarter to trade that type of an exotic on the daily or weekly? Yeah, City, I think it'd be better to swing trade exotics because the spread's so wide that you have to make a decent amount of profit for you to cover that spread and the fees sometimes if you hold it into the swap. All right, guys, so we have this trade coming up right now. I'm going to yeah, it looks like I'll be taking this with you guys. I might just write it to TP1 though, but I'm going to take it with you guys anyways. I'm going to take a smaller lot size for this. So we got 16 seconds left, guys. 13, I'll count down right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm in the trade, guys. So I'm currently in the trade. Let me go ahead and send this out to you guys if you guys would like it. Well, actually, I'm going to send it to the premium guys. So if you guys are in the premium group, you guys will get the link. I mean, you guys will get the signal. If you guys aren't, you guys can see it from here. But I'm just going to send it to the premium, obviously, because the premium has priority over the public group. Because obviously they have. Sorry, I'm getting a ton of messages right now on Telegram. Yeah, let me send this on the Telegram real quick to the premium group. So you guys can, if you guys want to enter it, you guys can. You guys aren't necessary. Like I mentioned, this is a risky trade for today, but it does look good because we have this rejection off here, followed by that sell signal. So I do think that it could, very well play out. I only took a 10 lot on this, so it's not as risky as the other one. But let me check. I'm trying to see the signal that I sent the previous week because I don't want to. I think was it on the 3rd? No, it wasn't on the 3rd. It might have been on this day. All right, there we go. So to give you guys that little disclaimer, making it's not official. Due to it being Friday, how we should take it at your own risk. So yeah, guys, this is like an at your own risk trade. If you guys want to take it, I mean, I'm in it, so obviously I believe that it can probably play out. So if you guys want to take it, feel free. I'm in the trade, so I have skin in the game. But yeah, so I got that right there. Let me go back to that again. FTMO. All right, let me check my numbers here. 929904. We got that right there. 50, 50. So I'm gonna send this out to the premium as well. TP2. Make sure the numbers are right. And this helps too, guys, because since we're live, I haven't been making mistakes with the signals because a lot of times before I was rushing, so I wouldn't. Oh fuck, my bad. Yeah, my bad, guys. I put a sell there. Fix that. Sell. So take that back, guys. Still make mistakes here because I accidentally put a buy when it was a sell. Here, let me see. All right, let me just send this over here real quick. All right, post this over to so that right there. All right, cool. So it looks like we're pretty much good to go. I'm just gonna set some alerts here, guys, just so that I'll know when we hit TP and whatnot. So it's gonna be TP plus 1500 pips. It's right at entry, guys. So if you guys still want to enter it, it's literally at entry. So you guys aren't really missing out on much right now. I did take it on my own account, so I do think it's gonna come down. Obviously, I wouldn't take it if I don't believe in the trade. For 50. Guys, I'm probably only going to reach for TP1. Or, if it hits TP1, I'm just going to move my stop loss and profit. I just, it is Friday, so I kind of have to get out of this trade. I can't hang on to it for that long. It's only 8 o'clock though. So we have a lot of time from now until market close. We have, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1. We have about 5 hours until the market closes, so that's enough time for price to push down. So it looks good right here. Yeah, thanks, Justin. Thanks for helping me with that. I did realize that I accidentally forgot to change that on there. Let me check this real quick. Check this over here. All right, so I think we're good for the most part. So yeah, US 30 is good to go. I've already set it all up, so that's all we really need at this point. Now I can continue on with my analysis of USD try. See if there's anything else here. David said, I could tell you no, but just let it rock. I can tell you why, but yeah, no, let's get it. Close partial is at 29750. Of course. David, of course, David, of course. Yeah, if you guys know what David's talking about, it's his that's the sweet spot right there. Oh yeah, so it looks like I'm gonna go for full TP actually, since David mentioned it. So I think we're good to go. Yeah, and it broke 30,000. It couldn't break 30,000 here. So there's a lot of confirmations here, guys. You know, price tried to break 30,000. It rejected off its structure, very strong, and it's a strong structure. So it rejected off there, got a sell signal. Now it's gonna go hit. It's gonna hit David's his favorite sweet spot. Let me set my. Sorry, I didn't send my. I need to set my FTMO parameters right here on my phone. So let me just set it real quick. Let's see. 34, and then TP is going to be at 29,829. So I might shoot for full TP actually, guys. But I'm gonna have to close out before the weekend. So we'll see how this plays out. You know, like I said, I took a small lot size. It's not, well, not a small lot size, but it's not a huge one. So it should be good. All right, cool. So it looks like we're good to go. I'll go back to USD try. We'll take a look at this a little later. But for now, we can go back to analyzing this pair over here. So like I was saying before, it looks like it, but we do have a bullish bias here. Price tried to break the structure, but then it rejected off this point. So for scenario number 1, it will likely reject off this point, continue up, and then once it breaks this point, it'll probably continue up even further. That's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2 is we get a sell signal, breaks below here, and then there's a pending sell right there. So it breaks below here, it continues down further, or it rejects from this point. So there's a lot of different scenarios that can play out here. There's no specific direction that's like, you know, outweighing the other, because it looks like it's just consolidating within this point. But if we do get the sell signal, then I will have a sell bias, because it looks like price was pushing up, but then it started dropping over here in November. The reason for that, because US dollar is weak, obviously because of COVID, guys. Remember that. COVID is still around, it's still thriving. So it's, you know, the US dollar is not going to get any better until that's figured out. On top of that, we're probably going to get a stimulus bill that's going to get pushed at some point, you know, within the next month or so. So if that happens, the US dollar is just going to get weaker, and it's just going to push it down even further. So I do have well, I mean, I technically have a bullish bias because of this bullish signal here, but I think it's going to end up coming down. Let's see. Well, I don't know, because I don't know how strong the Turkish lira is. I don't follow that currency, especially since it's an exotic. But it looks like it established a high here, and then after that, it's starting to establish lower lows and lower highs. So depending on on how the market moves and, what happens with COVID from now until, next year, I think this might continue dropping or it might reject up. So that's one scenario. One scenario is it pushes back up and then continues its bullish move, because I'm not sure if the Turkish lira is weak or not. However, if the US dollar continues to be weak, then it'll go down this way. So there's two different scenarios that can play out. But like I mentioned, exotics are very, very tricky, because since not as many people are trading it, volatility is super low. So your spread's going to be wide, and it might be hard for you to get in and out of this trade without eating a loss, unless you hold on to it for like maybe weeks or months. So yeah, careful with that. But let's move on to the next one over here. So Bobby also wants us to take a look at the USD pesos. Let's check it out, USD. This is actually one that's pretty good. I don't know if Spencer's in this room, but Spencer, I don't know if you remember when we talked about the peso before, but you found something on this specific pair where it was, oh yeah. So I have my drawings here from a long time ago when Spencer was trading it. Spencer was like killing it because he figured out the strategy on here, and it was pretty consistent. I don't know if you still apply it, Spencer, but maybe it's something that we should revisit. So let me go over here, draw these zones, and it's the same situation, guys. So like the peso is usually not strong, right? It's usually weak. The US dollar usually outweighs it heavily. But with COVID, look how it's moved. Since March, the US dollar has been crazy weak, and it's literally just been pushing down. So it doesn't matter which exotic we're looking at or which asset. The US dollar is just weak overall, and it seems like it's going to continue to be weak, with what's going on in the world. So I'm going to draw these zones up real quick. Let's put that there. There. And this is pretty much how I draw all my, this is how I start every analysis, guys, with the zones, because the zones are probably the most important thing, especially if you're trading on the 4-hour time frame, because price respects these structures almost every time. So if you guys have sit in on my weekly chart analysis, the zones are the most important things to kick off the week so that you guys don't get caught in any fake outs and stuff. All right, looking at this right here, we have a bullish bias right here, but it's rejecting off this structure. So with this rejection right here, I anticipate it to reject off this point. If it's followed by a sell signal, then I anticipate it to drop down even further from that point. So that's scenario number one. Scenario number two is, because we have a bullish signal over here, that it breaks through this structure, consolidates a bit, continues up further, and then if it breaks above here, then possibly continue up even further from there. But like I mentioned, COVID isn't going anywhere, guys, so I don't think it's going to push up that far. I think it's going to continue dropping. It's just, it's just retracing a bit now because we have those vaccine updates. But until it's, it's widely distributed and there's, some sort of confirmation that, the US dollar or US economy is going to get better, then, it's probably just going to continue down further. So like pretty much any exotic that's paired with the US dollar, I think the US dollar is still going to be weak. So it's probably going to keep continuing down depending on what you're looking at. So like obviously the USD peso is down. On top of that, the USD Turkish lira is down. And I think even this is down as well. So you look at every exotic pair. This is one of the exotic pairs that I used to trade, the SGD. This is also down as well. So you see the correlation between all the exotics, they're all going down. So if you match those together, you put one and one together, this is probably going to reject off here and continue down as well. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. There's no real way to identify it because we don't know what's going to go on with COVID. I don't know if COVID's going to get worse, if it's going to get better. With the holidays around, it's probably going to get worse because people are gathering and the numbers are going to increase, over time. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out. That looks like about it for USD peso right there. Here's US 30. It's retracing up just like I mentioned, guys. It's just going to keep messing around just like it did yesterday, and then we'll see how it plays out. But I think that's it for this. yeah, we'll see how this plays out because that rejection looked nice. It looked like a perfect sell. So I think it's just going to be bouncing around before it ends up, dumping at some point. So that should be good right there. Let me see if there's anything else to look at and check out the chat real quick. Mary wants us to take a look at NU. So let me pull up NU real quick. NU. So looking at NU right here. Let me see if there's new structure above. Right there. Let me see if there's anything on the higher time frames. No. Yeah, so the next structure is actually super high from here. So looking at NU over here, similar to like all the other pairs we were looking at, there's like a little bit of a pullback because of the COVID vaccine. So it pushed up, retraced down a little bit, but I think it's going to continue back up further. So that's what I see happening right there, Mary, for NU. I think it's going to pull back a little bit, and then it's going to continue shooting up even further. Because like I mentioned earlier, when we were analyzing the NZD is pretty strong across the board, across all of these other NZD pairs. They're all pretty bullish. So with that said, it's probably going to continue up. You can see that there's small retracement for the other NZD pairs. It's like a minor retracement. It's nothing huge. But yeah, for NZD USD right here, it's probably going to retrace down a little bit before shooting way up. So that's basically what I see. What I see happening right here for NZD USD. And see, Alton said USA announced an embargo against Turkey because Turkey bought the S-400 missiles from Russia. Yeah, so the Turkish lira might get weaker next week. Okay, so that definitely helps, Alkin. I didn't know that happened, but see, this is what we like about the live streams, because other people have information that I don't necessarily have. Like, everyone thinks that I have all of the information in the world, but I don't. So it does benefit all of us that everyone's hanging out here in this live trading room, because Alkin had some like insider news right there, basically regarding Turkey. So. With that said, going back to the Turkish lira, but yeah, so sorry, with NZD USD, this is kind of what I see happening here, Mary. I think it's going to continue to be bullish. However, we don't know what's going to happen from now until next week. So I personally wouldn't enter this until, sometime next week, once we have some sort of confirmation or some new zones have been created within this area. But overall, I think it's going to be bullish, and I think it's going to continue up to test this zoned area right here. So yeah, hopefully you're in a buy, Mary, because looking at all the NZD pairs, they're all bullish. So if they're all bullish, usually they're all going to follow along with each other, and it should continue up. Small retracement right here, and then a bullish move back up, because this move hasn't even finished yet. See, price broke below the structure. Then we had this buy signal right here. Technically, this would have been an entry right here up to that next zone over there for 160 pips. So this would have been the move for here, and it's still moving. So technically it's still active if we ended up, calling that trade. Sure, no problem, Mary. Oh, nice. Mary's from the UK. Yeah, we have a lot of UK members here as well. Thanks for showing up, guys, because I know that there's a huge, well, not huge, but there's a big time difference between us. So over there for you guys, it's like midday, right? You guys are almost done with your day, and I'm here just getting started. But okay, so we can look back at the Turkish lira and just see what we can see happening right there. So yeah, it's actually going to be pretty bullish. So yeah, Bobby, if you're still in a USD try right here, with Alkin's news right here, he mentioned that the Turkish lira is probably going to continue to be weak. So if it does, and I swear I drew the zones here, but they just disappeared. But yeah, for this here, we could probably see it continue up even further from that point from here. So if you're in a buy, it looks good. Maybe I'll just buy some and then hang on to it for a while. Nice. David said he loves the UK. He was there for 2 years. Lucky guy, man. Look at David over here traveling the world. We still need to take that trip, David, soon, once COVID clears up. But yeah, guys, I think that's it for all the questions. I don't know if you guys have any other questions. If you guys do, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise I might be calling it an early live session today because I need to wrap up all of the basically all of the results. I need to do a wrap up of the breakdown of all the results this week, and I need to get all of our stuff prepared for next week as well. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out or put it right here in the chat real quick, and I can answer your questions. Otherwise, we'll probably call it a week right now. I still have my US 30 open, so don't worry, guys. I'm still going to hang on to it, and I'll still be active in the Telegram. I just have to do a lot of behind the scenes work over here to wrap up our total results for the week, the month, and the year. As you guys have seen, our results for this year have been pretty insane, guys. It's been a great year so far, and this is mostly just for me trading solo. We didn't have these live sessions before, and this is me trading solo. So imagine once we start doing these live sessions every single day, like next year, I think my results are going to be a whole lot better. I can probably eliminate a lot more losses because I'm not going to be taking stupid trades because I'm going to have you guys checking me to make sure that I'm not, taking any dumb trades. So, yeah, even with the US 30, most of these losses were my fault because I was taking risky trades like on days that we shouldn't have been trading. But now that I have you guys here with me on this live stream, I'm going to be less inclined to take these risky trades that don't make sense just because I want to call a trade or I want to take a trade. So hopefully this live stream helped, guys. Just another reminder, if you guys haven't liked the stream or if you guys haven't subscribed, please do so just to help out the YouTube algorithm. That way other people can find K2. Obviously, like myself, I was a beginner trader just like you at some point, and I had never had a mentor. I never had a course, and I learned everything on my own. So here I am just, passing it back down to you guys so that everyone can take value from these sessions. Let's see, Merspot said, do you think where US 30 is, it will become a support and push past the all-time high? Merspot, maybe, but I don't think so. Maybe from this point down here, but there's no guarantee it's going to continue. I mean, like I mentioned, US 30 is a weird asset. It's all news driven for the most part. It doesn't really respect these structures. It might look like it's establishing support here, but it can very well just break right through it. There's no, it's not like Forex where it really respects the structures, because when there's, COVID news or news regarding any of the stocks within the Dow 30, it can easily spike price, up or down. There's no, it's not like one asset. It's not like one stock where they're looking at one price structure. If one stock just ends up to spike up, it'll break right through the structure, regardless as to whether there's, some sort of structure here. That's why for us, what we like to do is we like to identify where it rejects from, like rejection with the sell signal. We don't really like to look at resistance points where it's like pushing up and we're anticipating it to reject off a certain point, because it can easily break, these structures easily, depending on what's going on with that specific stock within the Dow. So me personally, I don't know, Merspot, if it's going to break the all-time high, because this is crazy as well, guys. I don't know if you guys have really paid attention to it, but I still find it insane that US 30, we're in the middle of a pandemic, guys, and US 30 reaches an all-time high when people aren't supposed to have money right now. I mean, obviously, the rich stay richer, but normal people are supposed to, not have money now to invest in the market. But here we are hitting all-time highs, like in one of the worst economic situations that we've been to in a long time. So it's very unpredictable, and it can literally pretty much do whatever it wants. So that's why I'm not really I'm not too keen on foretelling the future of US 30. And that's why I trade it daily, because I'm not really sure what's going to happen at any point. This can very well just spike down like crazy at any point for no apparent reason, or it can spike up. Who knows? So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Tony said, "Reach one, teach one." Definitely, Tony. I'm here to teach you guys and help you guys and make sure you guys all become, consistently profitable with the rest of the members. We're all here for one goal, guys. If one of us wins, we all win, because we're all trading the same strategy here. So definitely look forward to trading with you guys for the rest of the the year and the rest of next year and the year after that, and you know, more and more profits to come. Spot said, right, okay, higher time frame just looks wild. Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I just looked at right now, Spot for the Dow 30. If you look on the weekly, it's pushed up like way high. So you know, at some point, the bigger, like, these people are going to want to get rid of their stock eventually, right? So they're going to dump it at some point. So that's why like I don't really like to trade when it's at an all-time high, because when it's at an all-time high, they can spike price down and then push it back up, just like how they've been doing. You know, whoever has the most of, you know, whoever's holding these or the future, and or whatever asset that holds any of these stocks, like in general, because they all kind of come together. You know, you could either have the individual stocks, you can have the actual index, you can have the future. There's a lot of different assets that tie into US 30. And the thing is, when it's at an all-time high, whoever's holding it's going to want to sell off to you know, take profit. They're going to sell off, wait for it to dip, and then buy it back. So that's why I don't really look at it for a long, you know, at a long-term perspective, even on the daily. Like even on the daily here, people are going to sell off, and then they're probably they're probably just going to buy it back just to push it right back up. Yeah, exactly. That's what David just said. You know, simple manipulation. You know, you would be doing the same too. If you guys had a ton of US 30 stock or the index, you know, if you had a bunch of contracts, you would sell them, make your profit, and then once it drops down to here, once it drops down to here, to buy it back, and then let it shoot right back up, right? So you just make money both ways. So, yeah, David said making the economy look good. Exactly. So that's why I don't really trade it long term, because it's going to be manipulated, you know, one way or another. Let's see. Hamisi said, so on the 100K FTMO challenge, if I take 2 trades for 1 TP and 2 lot size, it will be 7.5 each to make 15. Yeah, Hamisi. So if you want to take 2 trades on you know, 100K account, you can take a 7.5, and then obviously that'll add up to 15 lots. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can just do 15 lots and take 1 position as well. That works too. It's just really up to you how you want to approach it. Me personally, I go in between the two. Sometimes if I don't want to manage a trade, I'll just take 1 15 lot. But if I'm okay with managing the trade, then I'll take 2 7.5s. So that works out perfectly, and you know, it's helped a lot of people pass. Let's see. Josh is asking, why do you think US 30 is hitting these highs though? Like, personal opinion. Definitely manipulation, Josh. You know, it's like what everyone keeps saying, the rich stay richer, because they bought the dip right here, then they sell it, and then they just wait for it to come back down, and then they rebuy it again, and then they just keep pushing market up and down, because when they push the market, then it has people want to hop in, right? So they push price up, people want to FOMO in, so people start buying, they keep pushing it higher and higher, and then they sell off, and then they buy the dip, and then it just keeps pushing it higher and higher, because there's a lot of hype between, you know, these specific assets, especially when they keep changing out the specific stocks within the index. So depending on, you know, what's going on in the world, they're going to pick the stocks that are better for the US 30, but it's just going to you know, keep pushing up over and over again. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I think that's it for all the questions. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out on Telegram. I'll still be online. I just have to wrap up the totals and the breakdowns for our trades for this whole week. So that's going to take some time, and I'm going to have to focus on that without having to be on this live stream. So if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, thanks for showing up, guys. You know, we close out this week pretty strong with some nice profits at the end. So hopefully it continues next week, and we swing back into normal market conditions as it keeps going. Let's see, Tony said, I honestly feel that January 20th, 2021, it's going to melt. I could see that happening too, bro. Like, honestly, it's way too high. I think this is way too high for being in a pandemic. You know, people are not going to have money at some point to just keep pushing this up, because the rich keep like pushing price down, or whoever, not just the rich, but whoever is pushing price down just takes all the money from the people who were trying to long it, And all these people losing their money, they're just going to keep losing money until they can't keep pushing the market back up further. So I think it's going to drop eventually. It's like that movie, what's called The Big Short. If you guys have seen it, really interesting movie. And David over here said too, a crash is imminent regardless. Fake money is being printed into the markets, and this is all fake. That's exactly how I see it as well. So that's why I don't have any stocks right now in the market, guys. I used to have, a stock portfolio, but I still think the drop has yet to come. So that's why I don't want to keep my money in there, because I'm not trying to lose all my money, bro. just be to be in the market. I'd rather just park that in something else currently. But yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. I think this is about it. So we're about to call it a week. We had a pretty decent week so far. I think we still might be in the positive for Forex for sure. And even, we might be a little bit in the negative for US 30, but it's fine because last week we had, nonstop wins. So overall, we're still in some heavy profit, guys. So don't worry about that. But other than that, guys, thanks for showing up. I'll catch you guys in the Telegram. You guys can reach out to me on there. But yeah, guys, catch you guys.